Bulletin with your headlines from Solent Journalism. Following the earthquake that struck on Monday in Turkey and Syria, the Disasters Emergency Committee has launched its fundraising campaign this morning in a bid to help victims. But across Southampton, people have already started to collect aid and send support. Gonzalo Peixe has been looking at the response.
The Southampton community is coming together to collect aid and send support to the parts of Turkey and Syria devastated by the huge 7.8 magnitude earthquake on Monday. Despite the fact this morning the death toll has risen to above 17,000, with many more still missing, Catherine Smallwood, the World Health Organization's Senior Emergency Officer for Europe, said that numbers can grow up to 21,000, as casualties tend to increase in the week that follows the earthquake. And in Southampton, 9 firefighters have arrived in the area last night as part of a 70-strong team there to search for survivors and help with the ongoing rescue efforts. The Ottoman Kitchen Turkish restaurant on the High Street is hosting a fundraising evening on February the 22nd, and for now, the restaurant is acting as a collecting point for aid. The owner, Niazi Kaya, is struggling to contact relatives in the region that were affected by the earthquake on Monday. Charities made an appeal saying aid is badly needed and time is running out for those who may still be trapped. And the community responded, as several places across town are joining the aid appeal. Southampton Football Club donated £10,000 last night. The Muslim community of Southampton will be collecting funds from worshippers at weekly prayers. And children and staff at St. Mary's Primary School will also be raising cash with an International Clothes Day event. The Bulletin Learning Centre has been collecting so many donations and cash that they cannot take more physical donations at the moment after such a strong community response.
Hampshire detectives want to know if you have seen this man. Philip Rocher is being recalled to prison to finish his sentence for burglary after he breached the terms of his license. Police believe he may be in the Bittern area of the city. If you see him, do not approach him, but call 999. Southampton Central Station is to be given a £5.5 million revamp. The work is set to bring improved waiting areas, including new cruise passenger waiting lounge with real-time travel updates. The improvements form part of Southampton City Council's Transforming City Funds, which focus on improving the local environment. Our reporter, Megan Lenthal, has the latest.
Work is set to start here at Southampton Central Station next week on a £5.5 million revamp. The money will be a combination of government cash and contributions from South Western Railway.
The plans are part of the Council's ambitious Transforming Cities Fund programme, which aims to transform gateways into the city. The renovations include a new waiting lounge, an upgraded taxi rank, a drop-off area and improved car park and bus facilities. During the time of the revamp, there will be no buses and no taxis on the south of the site, with all parking being moved to the west. The current south side bus services will either be offered on the north side or at the bus stops outside Marland's shopping centre. We asked some of the users of the station how they felt about the planned refurbishments.
Come on, man, this is old infrastructure, isn't it? This thing was built in Second World War. It's out of character with what they're doing with the quays and all these other developments and new everything. And this station is notorious for not having enough trains. Aesthetic, if it's improved, that would be good. It would put Southampton on the map.
I think in terms of user experience, it would be a lot better. Things get older, things get outdated, so yeah, it's inevitable really that things have to be refreshed. I think it possibly could have done with it a long time ago, being such a busy station. Because if you're coming to Southampton, you've just arrived, not really that appealing, is it?
It's adequate as it is, actually. It could go somewhere more useful. Homeless people, definitely. I think they come through there and they wouldn't even take any notice of it. They want to go and get to their destination and, see the sights of Southampton, not the station platform, but anyway.
There are certainly some mixed views from the public, but the work is set to be complete by November of this year. Megan Lenthal for Solent Journalism.
And more development may be on the way. Nicholas James Group has unveiled plans to transform the Town Quay Marina into a world-class waterfront with bars, restaurants and a 9-story hotel. The development would require a £200 million investment, but could create thousands of jobs if plans are approved. OpenSight, a Hampshire charity, has buried a time capsule to celebrate 100 years of providing services to those visually impaired. The capsule contains photographs and headlines of their biggest achievements and won't be opened again until 2122. Doris Fitful, a former volunteer who celebrated her 100th birthday in 2022, joined them on the day to help bury the capsule. Some of the biggest strikes in recent years within the health sector are going to be taking place across the UK. The government is yet to respond to the demand of nurses and other health staff. At the moment, no dates have been set in place for those events. Our correspondent, Ben Axon, has more on the story.
NHS nurses have once again set up on the picket line to make their voices heard as they look for increased pay and better working conditions. Members of the Royal College of Nursing staged their 4th walkout of the year as the largest NHS strikes in history continue. Here at the Southampton General Hospital, nurses spoke to Solent Journalism about their reasons for taking action.
I am here for the future of nursing and for the safety of our patients and for the ongoing support of our NHS. We've lost nurses through Brexit, we've lost nurses through COVID. You know, this is 3 strikes and you're out. If we lose nurses through this, we won't have anybody else to look after patients on the ward. So we need fair pay to get more nurses back on the wards.
It's sustainable, realistically, it's not affordable. But for me, I work 3 days a week. My son goes into childcare, 2 mornings and 1 whole day. That's £710. That's half of my take-home wages. So there's a lot of amazing people leaving because you can get the same money working in Tesco's and doing agency shifts.
Earlier this week, RCN Director Patricia Marquis marched a petition to number 10 Downing Street, calling for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to bring negotiations.
The message to Rishi from 110,000 people so far and still counting is that he needs to step in, he needs to pay nurses what they deserve. The public are telling him really loud and clear that nurses deserve and need a pay rise and they support us.
Rishi Sunak is yet to respond to the petition, which now has over 100,000 signatures. The union's request is a 19% pay rise, hoping an increase in pay and an improvement in working conditions can entice new nurses into a struggling NHS.
I'm doing it for me because I'm towards the end of my career, but I'm doing it for the nurses who are coming up, so to get fair pay and to be able to entice nurses into this, what can be a very good career if the conditions are right.
I mean, the RCN have made it clear that they will negotiate. You know, the starting point was 19%, but they've made it clear they don't expect to get 19%, and we just want them. We want the government to come to the table and to negotiate and talk. And at the moment, they won't even do that. So that's what we hope.
The spirits are high in Southampton. Pay demands are set. Now over to Rishi. Benjamin Axon, Solent Journalism.
And finally, some sport. Another big game for Southampton on Saturday as they battle relegation. The Saints play fellow strugglers Wolves at St Mary's. A win could lift Saints off the bottom of the table. That's all from us for now. You can find all our stories and more online. Simply head to solentjournalism.co.uk. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram too. We're back in a couple of weeks.